I don't know which one I have.
And we're back with the Drunken News on the Tangent Podcast. Brian.
That was a nice little intro you had.
Thanks,
there.
man. I just looked at the cube and I was like, it's time.
It is time.
It is time.
Very nice.
All right, Maestro.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it.
Want some dog shit?
No, I don't want any. What do you?
Come on, maybe 1 week. I'm just hoping you
You
chug
have 1
the
week,
bottle.
New Year,
yeah.
new me.
No.
Birthday?
I don't do that.
Alcohol.
Birthday.
Birthday
No.
shot.
I'm just I'm not feeling it. No, it's
Justin
not
had a New Year's Eve black-eyed pea.
Yeah.
black-eyed pea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was gross.
Oh.
Have you ever eaten a black-eyed pea?
No, I
Yeah.
haven't actually.
I fucking went to
So
his
my
kitchen.
family,
His
my
dad
family
had like
has a tradition of you got to eat black-eyed peas on New Year's Day for
good luck
good
for
luck.
the rest of the year.
I only eat one
'Cause they're
a year.
terrible.
Because they're terrible. So Justin was
Nobody
just
gave
like,
me the heads up.
My father was just like, "Oh, Justin, you should have some black-eyed peas." He just
There's
grabbed a
also
handful
other
of them,
food.
You know,
There was
for-
other food prepared, Gary. You're not telling the whole story. There was pork, like pulled pork, basically, and some rolls and some other food in the kitchen. I helped Gary move his desk down to his basement so he could be elite down there. And we go there. And so I get all the food and whatever. And obviously, I grab a scoop of beans. I usually like beans. I'm like, whatever. I eat it, like a couple of them, like maybe 2. Try them. And they were disgusting. Fucking gross.
Anyone had it before?
No,
Nope.
They're
negative.
fucking
They're
disgusting.
Who eats
Disgusting.
them? Does anybody?
just-
does anybody
I
in your
had
family
never
like
heard
them?
of this
I heard
tradition.
Fergie.
What?
They
Fergie
just
likes
eat
them.
them.
They like them.
Fergie likes
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Fergalicious
They're
death.
disgusting.
They're gross, dude.
Disgusting, but I got good luck this year, Justin. Now
I'm
good
living
luck.
with good luck, dude. You
You
can
got
tell.
luck on your side.
You got
Like
yeah,
we got
lucky
this thing
strike on
today.
your side.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice.
feeling lucky.
So we've got a ton of Nintendo news, but and that's really the only news that we have this week, except for Diablo 3 adds Diablo 1 style dungeons and bosses into Diablo 3. So for Diablo's 20th anniversary, Blizzard has added Diablo references to many of its major games. For example, Overwatch now has the Diablo sprays that we were talking about. World of Warcraft has a secret cow level, so on and so forth. But with the update of 2.4.3, Diablo 3, you got it. Diablo 3 now has special retro dungeon players. Diablo 3 now has special retro style dungeon, comma, no comma there. Players can visit in adventure mode.
Is it a semicolon or
No, there's just nothing.
Wouldn't
Fall by
No.
69.
Wouldn't be a comma though.
No,
it would be a semicolon?
that would be a
That's
comma.
just-
Diablo now has
Bubble.
special retro style dungeon, comma, players can visit in adventure mode.
Colon.
Maybe.
Maybe semicolon.
Anyways,
You think?
No, that might actually
That's
be
a semicolon and a half. That's 2 sentences put together.
independent clause. That
Yeah.
potentially independent clause.
Dude, I didn't
Justin
make the
have them
semicolon.
related.
Don't give me credit for it.
Didn't make the
related.
semicolon.
Whoever invented the semicolon, give him credit.
All right,
'Cause
so
that's where it
complete with
belongs.
old school graphics, sound effects, controls, and more, Diablo 3's old school dungeon contains 16 floors filled with enemies and bosses from the original game for players to conquer. Although the darkening of Tristram
Correct, Tristan.
course.
event will only last until the end of January, so don't miss out on it
Dude.
if you have Diablo 3.
Don't miss it.
you
I feel like
have
you
Diablo
have
3?
Diablo
I do,
3.
so I
Gary.
might go back and play that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You guys have Diablo 3?
Or he has it.
I do.
We don't. We haven't shared for a while.
Yeah.
Watch it.
Watch it.
Have you played one,
Got
though?
impeccable aim.
No, I played 3. It was fun for a while.
I
I
asked
had
if
like
you-
a bunch of characters following me around. No, I did not play
Yes,
one.
you-
I've never
alright.
played another
So
one.
you've never seen the original?
I've seen it. I feel like my cousin used to play it when I was younger. He had a PC. He used to play it a lot.
I crushed it.
Yeah,
Well,
okay,
we're
strength
proud of
build
you.
We
over
don't
here.
believe that.
yeah. It's like
did.
a
Not even
decade
He had like
ago.
120
It
in
was
his
more
strength.
than a decade.
Nothing
Bro,
else.
probably 15 years.
And
Maybe.
I bet it was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely 20 years ago.
Less than 20.
No, less than, yeah.
Yeah, no. They didn't just have a 20th anniversary, I know. It's weird.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
when
doesn't
he
mean
played
I
it.
played it when it came out.
No.
Anyways, speaking of things coming out, so Zelda Breath of the Wild will be a Nintendo Switch launch game, at least in the US, according to
Lies.
Laura Dale.
Sources.
So apparently, blogger and journalist Laura Kate Dale has been pretty fucking accurate with her Nintendo Switch rumors as of late.
Are you sure? Do you
The
know that for
USB,
sure?
the USB-C.
She also was the one that reported that it wasn't coming out
but she did admit that in her tweet, and then she said, "I'm backpedaling 100%."
because she's a douche.
Apparently, she's a douche. But she said on Twitter that she is 100% confident that Zelda Breath of the Wild will be a Nintendo Switch launch title for North America. Me personally, I don't care anymore.
You guys
We're gonna
not
have
think
it-
Zelda's going to come out on launch?
Yeah.
I thought it was.
I
they
didn't.
came out
That's why I
saying
thought when we
Q4.
did that story,
Yeah.
I thought it was like,
It's
really?
kinda
Like, you're not
bogus.
going to make that fucking launch?
Well, that's again, that's the only game that they've been pushing for.
Right.
So
They got
it's
Skyrim.
yeah.
They got that Skyrim launch title.
So that's the only game that anyone's
Breath of the Wild
actually
is basically
played
Skyrim.
on
Correct. Yeah.
on the Switch. So there's no way that they're going to delay that. Yes, it's going to come out on the Switch launch title. And
It's
it
going to come
also-
out. My thought was it was going to come out if it was half-assed or not.
Yeah, you
Like if it
can't-
was done or not. There was just no way they were going to fucking miss it.
fuck
Like they were
it.
going to pull like basically a Wind Waker. They're going to say, boom, it has to come out now.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it.
Also, it needs to hit March 10th.
It's not. Did you
This-
get a date?
No, it's not.
17th.
It's not going to be 17th. That's the dumbest
No
fucking
way.
thing.
No way.
How do you miss Mario Day
You
for
get 1
your?
week.
You're really
thing?
dead set on this Mario.
Yeah,
thing, huh?
no, really. It might just be the like
We live in North America.
It's a business.
Nintendo could do anything to us,
They
and they
can.
wouldn't care. I mean,
Also
Brian,
true.
don't put all your eggs in this basket because
I'm
if they all
saying-
break, what's going to happen?
Nothing.
No eggs
because-
for you.
No eggs
That's
for me.
what-
I mean, yeah, I give you the. I mean, what's 1 week difference in launching early? But I mean, then again, like I said, it is PAX East, so it might.
Yeah, but it's I don't know. Also, it would. I mean, at that point, we'll play it on March 10th, anyways,
correct,
when
yeah.
we go to PAX East because they'll have it there. So
I mean, we're going to find out next week.
we'll find out next
what
week.
the
So,
deal is with all this bullshit.
Speaking of more bullshit,
Okay.
the Nintendo Internal Darkness trademark has been re-registered before the Switch's reveal. I feel like this is a little bit of somebody's a little reaching here. So Internal Darkness Sanity's Requiem is considered to be one of the scariest games ever made, using mind-bending psychological horror to keep gamers on the edge of their seat. So back on December 20th, Nintendo re-registered its trademark for Eternal Darkness Sanity's Requiem with the United States Patent and Trademark Offices, apparently teasing that a sequel could be produced. I don't necessarily
anybody
see
ever
it.
Could it just be a virtual console release?
is-
I think that it's going to be a virtual console release for the Nintendo Switch. Yes,
but I
that's
do like to
exactly-
see a sequel.
I think most people would.
Has anybody here ever played Eternal Darkness?
I have actually. I
I
have.
don't think I've ever really. I don't think I know what it is.
So Eternal Darkness, it plays a lot like the original Resident Evil 1 game,
Yeah.
where
With, like,
it's
the
pretty
camera.
tanky controls, yeah. But the game itself would, your controller would just stop working all of a sudden, and you're like, why can't I move? Like, what the hell? And then it would come back on.
And they would do that to you on purpose.
Yeah, and they would do that to you on purpose. The screen would go.
Memory card. Like
Yeah.
they faked like erasing your memory card.
Yeah, it would say like there.
That is psychological. That's fucked up. Too.
Yeah.
It would say
What
like
generation did this come out on? Like, what
GameCube.
console?
It was launch title.
it was.
Yeah.
It was either
No,
a launch
close.
or
It was a
close to
very
launch.
early
Yeah.
launch
Interesting.
window.
Yep.
Very interesting.
They would also do things like it would be like blood on the screen, so it would start at the top of the screen and it looked like blood was dripping down your screen and not like in the game. They also had
the
like
graphics that good back then?
I mean,
was a
no,
pretty-
It
but
was
like
technically actually an N64 game. I believe they started on the N64 and it
then
got ported.
Yeah,
to the
but it
GameCube.
is.
I
it
bet
is
nowadays they could make that
pretty.
shit
It is
crazy.
pretty good, or at least it was when I played it when I was younger. So
Maybe for some Nintendo.
Speaking of
VR
virtual
action.
console, though, we didn't put in the news Pokemon Snap.
Pokemon
Oh,
Snap.
dude,
came
right?
out
Let's
just
go.
inside, yeah,
That
on
game
the Wii
is
U.
sick.
Yeah. It's on the Wii U. But we got it on the Wii. I mean, we talked about it like 2 years ago when it came out on the Wii, but still sick to get.
Yeah, it's still snapping around. Let's go. No, I'm not doing it.
No.
No.
All right.
don't-
Anyways,
He won.
I don't think snapping around is really a phrase.
No.
It's not. I mean, I just made that up.
yeah. Anyways.
Hit the box. You made it up. You know?
Yeah, our next
it's not
piece of
bad.
news. Splatoon box ruins little girl's Christmas.
I know this one.
So, a mother in Westchester, Ohio, tried to buy her 7-year-old daughter a video game for Christmas, Splatoon, only for her
Terrible
child
choice.
to discover a porn DVD when she opened the box.
Was this new or used though? By the way.
What was the porn called? Did they put that
Yo,
in there?
let me
Yeah,
let me
all
get
right,
there.
all right.
Christy Grender told LW
Was she
or
the porn star?
WLWT that
Krusty, what's her name?
Christy Grender
Oh, Christy
yeah.
Grender.
She bought
Okay.
Splatoon for her daughter at a Target a week before Christmas, where it was shrink wrapped and locked
shit.
in a case. Everything seemed fine on Christmas morning until she took off the shrink wrap so her daughter could open the box, where she found a copy of Sensual Seductions 2.
Dude, one employee went rogue.
Her
That sounds
father
like a
then
classy
took
one,
it
though.
for inspection.
Is that in the story? No, wait.
You did that? So yeah, apparently this mother had to explain to her that Santa's elves sometimes they don't make video games and that stores make mistakes. So this is just a funny story that, unfortunately goes with the Nintendo news.
There you
I
go.
mean, I think it's good stuff.
Yeah, it's
That's
definitely a
great.
Christmas
That's like
present for the dad.
a family
Merry
story
Christmas.
for the ages.
Yeah, like can you imagine that? Like, yeah, when little Susie was 7, we bought her Splatoon. Yeah, and there was a porn DVD in there. It's a terrible fucking.
Santa delivered.
This guy, we got the block for him. He's got the classiest puns of all of us secretly.
The last piece of news that we have is an interview with Nintendo's former designer on the creation of Game & Watch, Game Boy, and DS. So December's issue of Retro Gamer features an interview with Satoru Okada, a former designer at Nintendo. So there's a lot of stuff to read here. So
Please don't.
on the Game & Watch, Yokai wanted to create a toy when he saw a man playing with his calculator on the train. And he wanted to create a discrete toy for adults so they could kill
Who plays
time.
with the calculator on the train? Are we talking like those calculator games?
It was
You also have to talk.
No, it was like 19
or
something.
80s.
80s.
Early
1970s.
So what are calculators fascinating back then?
No,
He
it's
wrote
just like
boob
the
on the
guy's
calculator and flipped it
probably
over.
working.
Boobless.
Oh, he was working with the calculator and he thought instead of a calculator, what if he was playing a game?
You also got to think
Okay.
like
All right,
at that
so
time, like
They
the
was-
idea
the
of
guy was-
computers
yeah.
were
A newer thing.
All right, I'm back in it.
So
Here we go.
So when they first tried to make a portable console that people could really carry in their pockets, they were really interested in the idea of interchangeable cartridges, and that was interesting. But because of the Microvision's limitations, which is the technology that they use for the Game & Watch, all the cartridges had to look the same, both with their graphics and concept of the game. So we said to ourselves, quote, why not just have one game per machine, but at least with good graphics? And that kind of led to the birth of the Game & Watch. And so each Game & Watch, as you may or may not know, has its own game. So it's kind of like those old Tiger electronic games.
football or
Football or Mortal
football,
Kombat
whatever,
or
yeah.
Mousetrap or whatever the hell it was. I had a few of those back in the day.
The only thing I know about Game & Watch is from Super Smash
Brothers.
Brothers. Yeah.
So moving on to the Game Boy, let's see. Okada is quoted as saying, when I was young, I was rather stubborn and often became angry with my supervisors when I was trying to defend my ideas. The best example of this was the Game Boy. So it sounds like from this, he was actually mainly responsible for the creation of the Game Boy. So the Game Boy, as you know today, actually had nothing to do with the one that Yokai had in mind, his supervisor. So Yokai saw the Game Boy as a direct follow-up to the Game & Watch. For instance, he didn't care if there were third-party editors, and furthermore, he wanted quick games, quickly completed and quickly forgotten. So he wanted the Game Boy.
Forgotten. How sad.
Yeah, so Okada wanted the Game Boy to have a little bit more ambition, and he was an assistant director in the R&D department that he had multiple arguments with Yokai on, and at the end, apparently Yokai gave up in frustration and told him, do whatever the hell you want.
Make the most successful
You have,
console
you
of all
have,
time.
yeah,
He's
you
like,
have
all right.
full responsibility of this, and then he went on to create the Game Boy, which is
The most successful console.
I mean,
of all time,
that's
probably.
very. I mean, I like these stories because it's very like Apple during the Steve Jobs era was like that. When like they would start arguing at a meeting, Steve Jobs would also kind of do the same thing. Like, well, fuck you, go ahead and do it then,
Make it.
and make it, and then figure it out,
I wasn't
and let
there.
me see it. So it's like,
I remember those meetings pretty
Yeah.
well.
I wasn't.
videos?
I didn't attend those meetings. I didn't get the invite.
but I always think that's
the
like
notification.
it's just funny how stuff like that happens. Like it's just
Where-
the off chance some
yeah.
person is just like,
I have a great
I
idea.
have a great idea, and I think it's a great idea,
And you
so I'm
should-
gonna go fucking
yeah.
like fight for it and do it, and then it works. Sometimes
It's
it
a
works
big
out.
fuck you to
and you
that.
get a Game Boy, you get you get an iPod, or you get whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
It's really.
Some classy stuff.
I mean, and then like at companies that allow that to happen, though, it happens more than once. Like I think in the other, like we'll get like the DS was kind of like that.
Yeah.
In the same vein.
I don't think there was any argument really with it, but there are quotes saying a lot of people didn't like it. It was called codename the Iris, which apparently is like the flower, and the explanation for this name was simple. Since it was the 5th generation of the Game Boy, we chose the symbol of May, the 5th month of the year. And according to some sort of Japanese playing cards, the month of May is symbolized by the iris. So that was
Makes
kind
sense.
it was kind of a cool nickname. The project was moving forward at a good pace, but during
Very
the
cryptic.
development, something unexpected happened. President Iwata at the time then came to see me. He was obviously bothered and said, quote, "I talked to Yamauchi-san over the phone, and he thinks that your console should have 2 screens. A bit like a multi-screen Game & Watch, you see. Everyone is aware of this, but what people don't know at the time is that everybody hated this idea, including Iwata." So it sounds like Yamauchi-san had this crazy idea that no one really believed in, and
Yeah.
ended up working out. So no one really thought it made any sense back in the Game & Watch days. It was different because the second screen allowed us to double the playing area and the number of graphic elements on display. But with the modern screens at the time, there was really no point, especially it was impossible to look at both screens at the time, and they didn't really understand the idea at that point. And I feel like it was it obviously was, it's the most successful console besides the PS2, or is it the most
It's
successful
the second.
behind the PS2?
See, the second or the third, because it would go PS2 Wii DS or PS2
DS
DS
Wii.
Wii. I think is the order. Yeah.
So they had the Game Boy Advance SP, the clamshell, already come out?
Yes.
And it
Yes.
just wasn't popular
was
to
popular.
that
No, it was
effect.
pop-
Very popular.
It didn't have
So
2
then-
screens. It only had one, remember? That one only
Oh,
had one
right.
screen.
It
Screen.
popped open and then
Just
it
a
was just the
powerhouse.
2 buttons.
Yeah.
Yep. It was just
The
it was
D-pad.
Oh, the
think
buttons and the
it was a
D-pad,
Game Boy
yeah,
Advance
yeah.
in the shape of a Game Boy Color is what that was.
So yeah, that was huge. Those are cool.
Sweet.
But I think it's funny because Nintendo is still chasing that dream. They're still trying. They still have this mentality of like, oh, okay, so this. No one really understood what this DS was supposed to be, and it was a huge rousing success. And they still have this mentality of trying to find that outlier where they had it with the DS, then they had it with the Wii, and they're looking for something else to just. It feels to me, it kind of feels dirty, like they're almost selling out in a way to just try and make the most money possible with this kind of like weird, unique thing. And a lot of times, I don't know, I just feel like at this point, I'm kind of at the
Well, I think
stage in my life where I think that what they're trying to innovate at this point, it just seems like innovate is an excuse. Innovation is an excuse for something that I personally don't want anymore.
I think for them, they're trying to figure out what makes. They want something unique. It's not. I mean, because they know they can't do what Sony and Microsoft do, or they don't want to. Like they know they would probably end up third or whatever. So they want to try something to catch that. You know.
Well, the thing
Lightning
is,
in a bottle.
But I mean, yeah, you do. Obviously, you want to try to catch lightning in a bottle, but at the same time, it's like, how often are you going to do that with every console that you try to do?
No, you're right.
And you're
It's
trying to
it's not
reinvent the wheel
something
every
that-
time.
Well, they're
It's
going to be third
attainable.
every time if they
Yeah.
keep doing this.
Not to mention
Right.
like.
The thing is,
For
you
example,
have to
if
be third
they
a couple
had-
times to.
There's also
build
a
it
lack
back
of
up.
understanding
Wii,
of
it
what
would work.
made it successful. Like what made the Wii successful? What made the DS successful? I mean, you could argue that the DS wasn't successful because of 2 screens. It was successful because of the touch screen.
Well, yeah, and not to
You know,
mention
and
every
not having
grandmothers
2
understand. It was simple enough for people to understand who don't play
Right.
video games know exactly what it is.
And we're in a different world, and then you gotta also factor in, okay, now there's smartphones and there's iPads. So you lost a lot of that market, and it's just, I don't know. It's a good goal to be like, what can we do that's different than the other companies? But
At this
sometimes
point,
it's
their
like,
games.
If they're doing the right thing, you don't have to do anything different. You should just be
Right.
doing what they're doing, but have your own take on it. And you got to sell your style, but you still have to match. You got to at least match up. I don't know. I think Gary's
So-
right. You can't do it every single year over and over again.
Right. You're never gonna
Can't be
crank out.
be inventive every single fucking time.
Right.
Like, where's the time to make the one thing you were pushing good if you just keep abandoning it every single time for something new? I don't know. It's stupid.
I don't know. Maybe you just keep trying and you fuck up and then you catch it on the next cycle and hope everything works out. I don't know.
That's
I mean,
what every
That's the Nintendo
Nintendo
way.
fan says.
Right.
that
Yeah.
The next one will be better. The next one. Well,
We'll
we're
find
about
out
to-
next week. We
Yeah.
will certainly find out next week.
And the other ones just
well, sometimes
keep
it is
producing-
better. I mean,
Again, you
you
only
know,
have the Wii
DS,
is the most
3DS.
successful.
I mean, they're not
I mean, sure.
flops. You know,
No,
we're still
they're
getting
not-
good games.
Yeah, that's exactly it. We're still getting good games, but like the last good game that I got on my Wii was Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I
I mean, there's no question that the Wii U was a failure, a complete failure for multiple reasons.
Yeah, but
You know.
I mean, I don't know. Anyways, I digress. And we're going to digress on the news because that's really it for the Drunken News. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with our Twitter handles, what we're doing on the site, and all that jazz. So stay tuned.